Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a look at a very different kind of set. It's Double Crisis. We literally, in the previous history video, had a little bit of a chat about Primal Clash, and how that was this fancy new set which brought in ancient traits and really brought the Gen 3 remakes into the Pokemon trading card game. And no sooner have we done that than we hopped over into a mini set, but I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, this one was awesome. You see, Double Crisis was a set completely themed around Team Magma and Team Aqua. And as a side note, I have very few regrets Pokemon TCG wise, but I was playing obsessively and buying a bunch of cards at the time this came out. I largely ignored this set at the time. I don't really have much of this set at all. Man, do I have regrets about that now. Was he back then? Bit of an idiot, quite frankly. Now, it released in Japan on January the 30th, 2015, and over there it was called Magma Gang vs Aqua Gang Double Crisis. It was then released in English on March the 25th, 2015, which incidentally is my wedding anniversary. That was exactly 2 years before I got married, so I have no real excuse for this, quite frankly. Boo, Aussie! Although I do need to show you the booster pack artwork. Firstly, because you've got the Magma and Aqua artwork, that's quite nice. Shout out to the lovely folks over at Bulbapedia for making this so easy to find. And the Japanese pack artwork. I mean, ours is cool. Nothing compared to the Japanese artwork. That is a thing of absolute unrivaled beauty. Now, there were only 34 cards in the set. It was very, very small. And all of the cards were Team Aqua or Team Magma. So you had things like Team Aqua's Walrein. And then you had things like Team Magma's Aggron. Although now I've got a son called Archie, I'm Team Aqua for life. I think that's pretty clear at this stage. And it might have been a very small set, but it did bring us in a couple of brand new Pokémon EX, with, again, absolute redonkulous top-level artwork here. Team Aqua's Kyogre EX had the ability Power Saver. If there were 4 or fewer Team Aqua Pokémon in play, you couldn't attack, so make sure you had 5. And then 4 energy, 80 damage, plus 20 more for each colorless energy in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. The attack wasn't actually good enough to have that limiting ability. Didn't really matter, it was just cool. And then, of course, we got Team Magma's Groudon EX with the same ability Power Saver. 4 energy, 160 if there was already damage on your opponent's active Pokemon. Again, this wasn't a good attack. Certainly not good enough to warrant having that ability, but these cards were not really supposed to be good playable cards. They were just artistic showpieces, and in that, they did an excellent, excellent job indeed. Now, this could only be bought in blisters. You can just go and buy boosters. Now, obviously, some card shops would go ahead and actually open them up and sell them individually, but generally speaking, that wasn't the way it happened. You had to go and buy blisters, and your blisters would get you a couple of packs of the set, which was rather lovely, and then you would get a badge featuring either Team Aqua's logo or Team Magma's logo, which frankly is rather lovely indeed. When I say a couple packs of the set, I do of course mean 4 packs of the set, but this was a mini set. They were 7 card booster packs, so they were slightly smaller booster packs than normal. 4 of them, plus the badge. Why did I not buy a huge amount of this set when it was out? It's so cool! Ah, man, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't usually get this. Right now, I'm just making this video, and the whole time, I'm just thinking, you're an idiot, why didn't you buy more of this set? You were spending a lot of money on Pokemon cards when this set came out, and you ignored this set, you dummy. Because I assure you, it's not that affordable nowadays. Speaking of which, the most expensive card in the set you probably won't be surprised to find is your Team Aqua's Kyogre, which will generally set you back somewhere in the region of $40-ish. To be fair, the Groudon is probably around that as well. So I will say that even though the set is kind of old and buying the blister packs is now very expensive, the cards themselves aren't hideously expensive. It's not the end of the world. You can still pick up some singles. Maybe I should go ahead and do that. Incidentally, if anyone's got a bunch of trades of this set lying around, hit me up on Twitter at @TheWassy. We'll do some trades. It'll be fun. So, were any of the cards from this set good? The answer actually is yes. There were a couple of cards from this set especially that were legitimately good. And the best one was Team Magma's Secret Base. Team Magma's Secret Base said that whenever any player puts a basic Pokemon that isn't a Team Magma Pokemon from his or her hand onto his or her bench, you put 2 damage counters onto that Pokemon. Now at this stage, we need to go back and draw a little bit of a parallel to the old Team Magma's Secret Base, although it was actually called Team Magma Hideout, because that was something that said whenever any player puts a basic Pokemon that doesn't have Team Magma in its name from his or her hand, that player puts 1 damage counter on that Pokemon. Yeah, that's right. And there was also a Team Aqua hideout, which is going to look a lot like Team Aqua's Secret Base. We'll get there in a moment. I really do appreciate the fact that, there was the old set Team Magma versus Team Aqua back when it wasn't Gen 3 remakes we were talking about. It was legit just Gen 3 we were talking about. And they actually did things like this to call back to that old set, which I find very, very lovely indeed. I adore that they did this. This makes me very, very happy indeed. Now, the reason Team Magma's Secret Base was so gosh darn good is because later down the line, we would get ourselves Gyarados. Specifically here, I am talking about the Gyarados that came around in Ancient Origins. And that said that this attack for 2 colorless energy did 30 more damage for each damage counter on each of your benched Magikarp. And Magikarp always have 30 HP, so how do you guarantee that each Magikarp has the maximum amount of damage on? You play Team Magma's Secret Base to damage your own Magikarp, and then you end up damaging your opponent's Pokemon while you're at it, and that's all nice and lovely. But Team Magma's Secret Base was a real staple in Gyarados, which was a really good card. Really good deck, in fact. The other card that really did have an impact was Camerupt. Now, Camerupt was a very fun one. It had the ability Burning Draft. Once during your turn, you may attach a fighting or fire energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. And you would play that with Camerupt EX, which for 4 energy let you discard as many fire energy attached to your Pokemon as you like. Didn't have to be Camerupt, could be any of your Pokemon. And it did 50 damage for each energy card you discarded. So you would essentially use Team Magma's Camerupt to get energy on itself, and then you would discard it with Camerupt DX and do a bunch of damage. And we're not talking about a deck that absolutely owns the entire metagame here, let's be clear, but it was a fun little deck. I don't think it had any real big tournament results like that, but it was around on the circuit for a while. It did well at a bunch of smaller tournaments. It was a legit deck. The other thing you had was a combination of Team Aqua's Secret Base and Team Aqua's Muck, which both increase the retreat cost of the opponent, or anyone that wasn't a Team Aqua Pokemon. So there were some decks that were built to stop you retreating, and that was kind of fun. So given that it is a 34 card set, I think this is one of the few times where we can just run through every card in the set. So let's do it. We had Team Magma's Numel and Team Magma's Camerupt. We've talked about that. We had Team Aqua's Spheal, Team Aqua's Celio, and Team Aqua's Walrein. Looked fun, but it was way too expensive. We've got Team Aqua's Grimer and Team Aqua's Muck. That was one that increased retreat cost and was actually kind of fun. We got Team Aqua's Viper, which wasn't great. We had Team Magma's Baltoy and Team Magma's Claydol. Now, Team Magma's Claydol did let you move a basic energy from one of your Pokemon to one of your Team Magma Pokemon. This did actually make a very nice combo with Team Magma's Camerupt, so you could basic accelerate energy and move it around. Maybe I should have made more of a deal of this when I talked about Camerupt. Again, it was kind of a niche little thing, but that was a legit combo you could use. Now we had Team Magma's Aaron, Team Magma's Lairon, and Team Magma's Aggron. And I want this to be good, right? Because Aaron's literally my middle name. But unfortunately, it was just one of those big, expensive ones. And in a weird little twist, we had Team Aqua's Poochyena and Team Aqua's Mightyena. Neither of which were unfortunately particularly good. Team Aqua's Mightyena did let you flip a coin for each Team Aqua Pokemon you have in play and do 30 damage for each heads. Great if you flip 6 heads. Unlikely. And then you had Team Magma's Poochyena and Team Magma's Mightyena, but unfortunately they were just not that great. We then had Team Aqua's Carvanha and Team Aqua's Sharpedo. That was quite nice because it let you search for Team Aqua Pokemon. It was a nice draw engine if you wanted to play a Team Aqua deck, which nobody did. And then you had Team Magma's Zangoose, which did have Call for Family and an attack did 20 damage for each Team Magma Pokemon on your bench, which was fun but slightly underwhelming. And then of course the two EXs we mentioned earlier. In terms of tools, we had Aqua Diffuser, gave you a new attack for 1 water energy that confused and poisoned, and Magma Pointer, which gave a new attack for 1 fighting energy that did 20 damage to 1 Pokemon. You had Team Aqua Grunt and Team Magma Grunt that let you discard a card from your hand and draw 3 cards, or 4 if you discarded a Team Magma card, or Team Aqua card depending. And they were fun because they were exactly the same as Team Aqua Schema and Team Magma Schema that came around in the old Magma vs Aqua set back in Gen 3. We had Team Aqua's Admin and Team Magma Admin let you put up to 3 Team Aqua or Magma Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, which gave you really nice recovery, which was rather nice. We had Team Aqua's Great Ball and Team Magma's Great Ball. Yes, there are lots of parallels. This was very deliberate. They let you search for a basic Team Aqua Pokemon and a basic Water Energy, or a basic Team Magma Pokemon and a basic Fighting Energy. And these were again cool because back in the old set, we had Team Aqua Ball and Team Magma Ball that let you flip a coin and if heads, search your deck for a Pokemon that has Team Aqua or Team Magma in its name, show it to your opponent. And if tails, you search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it into your hand. So basically, if it was heads, you could get anything. Tails, you could only go and get yourself a basic. Not exactly the same, but a nice little callback. We had both these secret bases that we've already mentioned. And then we had double Aqua Energy and double Magma Energy, which was either a double Water Energy on a Team Aqua Pokemon, but it gets discarded at the end of the turn, or a double Fighting Energy on a Team Magma Pokemon, but it gets discarded at the end of the turn. And yes, if you're wondering, we did have Aqua Energy and Magma Energy back in the day, and they could only be attached to a Pokemon of the relevant clan, had to have it in the name. Aqua Energy was a Water and a Darkness, and got discarded at the end of the turn, and Magma was a Fighting and a Darkness, and got discarded at the end of the turn. I adore that they did these little callbacks to these old cards from way back in the day. That makes me extremely happy. It's just nice little details, and I'm a fan of nice little details. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It was a very fun set, phenomenal artwork, looks extremely cool, and I regret not picking up more when I had the chance. It wasn't a particularly impactful set on the metagame, though there were some relevant cards which I appreciate. But it was a really cool set with really cool artwork, a very strong theme, 2 of the best looking EXs we've ever seen, and a whole bunch of cool little things about it. Plus a nice little nod back to a set from many years prior, which, if you're a big old Pokémon TCG nerd like me, you should find rather wonderful. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you need to know about Devil Crisis, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me your memories of this set if you were around at the time, and if you weren't, tell me what you think about this set now you're seeing it for the first time. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.